Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails, you really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Samin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Greetings.
Almighty Father, I put my hope in you. I beg you. here, my boy.
Your farmhand murdered Roman and abducted Pavlena, the herb woman's daughter.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
Straw admitted everything, so I dealt with him according to the law.
Jesus Christ! Why would they do something like that?
They did it to get in your good books. For taking revenge on Bozhena.
My God! I never wanted anything like... I get drunk, I curse her, aye, but I never wanted anyone to kidnap her daughter or murder anyone. I didn't put anyone up to it. They did it on their own, and it's their own bloody fault. Jesus Christ! That's the last thing we need, a mess like this. I have to square things up with Thrush.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
How come he's buried there, and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth, and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me.
Old hag? Who are you talking about?
The midwife, Bozhena. My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course, I wasn't there. Being a God-abiding man, I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa! Send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
I'm sure Bozhena didn't want to hurt your son. She was trying to help.
Help? By killing my son and condemning him to damnation? I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So don't you tell me Bozhena was trying to help. That's the other fellas from the village, and we reach out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
Thank you for telling me about it. You have my condolences.
Aye, but words won't bring them back.
I'd like to ask you more about your son, Yaroslav. If that's all right with you.
Ask away.
What about your other children?
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olina are still here. Once they get married, I'll be left all alone on the farm.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't she? Lots of fellows would give the right arm for a place like this.
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, goddammit! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
Well, I only got to know my father recently. He's the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Well, you do look like a man with blue blood. That I can't deny.
Well, thanks, but actually I'm a bastard. My ma was a commoner, so she couldn't marry Sir Radzig. Fortunately, his loyal subject Martin took her in and raised me like his own.
Out of duty?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. But however it started, they became close. And later, when they died, Sir Radzig took charge of me. So actually, I have two fathers.
God's will. There are times I wish I'd died before Yaroslav. I'd have saved myself all the misery since then. And all that's still to come.
When did your son die?
Well, Yaroslav would have been 5 years old now.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks. Relations between you and Bozhena the herb woman aren't good. But it's time to put an end to the animosity.
Where are you going with this? That witch deserves no pity.
I understand your bitterness, and I'm sorry about your son. Bozhena would certainly have saved him if she could. But whatever happened between you, it has to end now. Bozhena came very close to losing her daughter on account of your feud. Your farmhands abducted her, and they killed her sweetheart.
But I had nothing to do with that. They did it of their own free will, not on my orders.
That means nothing. They did it because of you. They wanted you to be indebted to them.
But that's not my fault, and I don't see why I should have to make up with Bozhena on account of it.
Listen, I know a thing or two about revenge. And believe me, sometimes you just have to say enough and turn the other cheek. Because otherwise, it will never end.
You know nothing. I can't simply forgive her.
Well, then do it on account of Pavlena. After all, she's not to blame for anything. But she's the one who's suffering most from your feud.
Christ almighty. You're talking like the parish priest. I'll send Bozhena. Compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I do anything bad to them, and those two fools are again. If they do, I'll haul them.
I've already dealt with your hands.
Oh. Good. Good. But my offer still stands. Bozhena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Bozhena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Bozhena will understand that.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Greetings.
About Yakesh.
Is it done?
I didn't kill him, because I finally managed to get him to agree.
Agree? On what?
I told him everything, and it was clear from his reaction that he wasn't directly to blame. His farmhands did it all by themselves. He was so sorry that he gave me coin for you and Pavlena in recompense. It's quite a lot of money. Pavlena could use it.
And you really believe him? That he'll leave us alone?
Well, I don't think he'll ever forgive you. But I believe he won't try to hurt you anymore.
I hope you're right. I'd hate to regret it later. Thank you, Henry. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. You should keep half the coin.
No, I accept it. Pavlena will need the money more than I do.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Keep it.
Henry, what would we do without you? God himself must have sent you to us. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. I'll be forever grateful to you. If you need anything, come and visit us. We'll be happy to see you. It was good to see you, my friend.
I'd like you to teach me something.
It can be done, but it doesn't come free. What are you interested in?
I'd like to learn about herbalism.
Thanks. I'll teach you one trick, but it'll take time to learn it.
So, how are you doing?
Well, not bad, all things considered. I mean, with all that happened over the past few days.
I understand. I didn't want to upset you. I was just wondering if you had everything you needed, and so on.
You're so sweet, but we're doing all right. Don't worry about us. What we need and can't make ourselves, we buy. We earn some coin from my baskets and Mother's medicines, but mostly we live off what the forest provides. Ma taught me about every flower, root and mushroom, so I pick a lot of things. Ma can cook a hare like no one else, so I bring a lot of them. I can hit one at 30 paces. Sometimes we even eat venison. I can shoot a deer at 50 paces, but don't tell anyone.
Of course. You can trust me. Hitting a hare at 30 paces, that's some serious marksmanship. I'm not sure I could do it. Perhaps you could teach me a few tricks.
I'd be happy to, but don't expect any miracles. You just need to know your way around the forest and practice a lot. And when you live alone in the forest, You've got plenty of time for that.
I'd like to learn something.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to practice my shooting.
All right, but it'll take some time. God bless.
God be with you.
You're in for an ass-kicking, you piece of shit!
Come here.
You're going to you wanna try me? I'm all yours!
Dick!
On the floor! Show you!
You silly doggy. Greetings. Do you need something?
I'd like you to teach me something.
Sure, why not? If you pay me, I'll teach you a few of my tricks. And what would you like?
I still don't know much about medicinal herbs.
All right. I'll show you something. but you need time for it. Praised be Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Greetings.
Come and hear something you won't believe. I've traveled the whole world, and now I will tell you the
Keep close to the others. It's not safe here.
I must be mad. Fuck it.
Never mind. Strange. Huh? Nothing. Huh? Strange.
Huh?
Nothing, I suppose.
Did I imagine? I heard somebody find
abomination.
What are you doing, playing with that lock?
Yeah.
Be careful. God is punishing us for our sins.
What a night.
Why me?
Hey! You're not allowed here! I see those ears do indeed work. I must be mad. Huh? Hey! You're not allowed here! I see those ears do indeed work.
I really need to eat something.
Huh? I heard something. Hmm? Ow! What the fuck was that? Huh? I must be mad. Hey! You're not allowed here!